You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Hit the Floor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Hit the Floor After Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. Bing is for doing, and today we are doing another spicy, dramatic episode of Hit the Floor. I'm your host, Alikona Bradford, and joining me, as always, is...
What's going on, Mark E. Allen?
Hey guys, it's Layla Sadney.
It's Nick Perdue.
And as always, at AfterBuzz TV, we try to bring you all your favorite characters here in studio. So today we have a very special host, the effervescent and very lovely Charlotte Ross.
Oh, effervescent.
Yay!
So sweet. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. You look gorgeous. I was telling you earlier when you walked in.
Vice versa. You're adorable.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blush. Live. So you play Olivia, which we all know is a very strong, independent character, but right now I feel like her power is getting a little bit messed with as far as Jelena is concerned. Can you tell us a little bit about their relationship and maybe how it became that way to where she thinks it's okay to just push
me around?
Yeah.
I know. I said that to James LaRosa. I'm like, why? Why don't I just fire her? I don't understand. I think sometimes we come across somebody in our workplace that we have to work with them despite how they treat us or treat others. I think if it were totally up to Olivia, she would fire her in a blink of an eye. I think that Jelena is really, really good at what she does for a living, and Olivia kind of needs her in a way and sees herself as, you know, maybe what she was when she was younger, and so has this bizarre respect for her. But I think that there's a deeper reason why she kind of has to keep her around, even though she'd rather not.
Okay, this was my hypothesis. I felt like maybe she had some dirt on her or something, and that's why.
I think that's good. I think it's a good idea. It could be very true. I'm not sure about that, but I'd like to think that, because I think that I've gotten the funniest tweets, like, just hit that biatch, just kick her out, just get rid of her already. I mean, I love her. She's the woman that plays the Jelena. So we have really a lot of fun when we shoot these scenes, but the character is definitely one you want to ring around the neck, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, she's the face of them, I guess, so.
Yes.
She's the double
Yes.
of the double girls.
Yeah.
Exactly
All her.
You have to be part double.
So you have a background, though, in dance and singing and all that stuff. So is there going to be a moment where maybe your character, since the writers know you're capable, that are going to let you do a little something, something?
Oh my gosh, you're so funny, little something, something. Yes, I am. And
Yes.
I mean, that's what I am. I don't know if they're going to.
We're like, yeah.
I don't know. You're so sweet. Listen, I thought I was pretty good till I saw these dancers. I mean, they're amazing. They're athletically superb, and what they do day in, day out takes such discipline and athletic abilities. It's really quite extraordinary. And so to do the splits and then drop into it 3 feet down, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, obviously, you found out that Kimberly Elise's and my character were kind of the stars in our heyday. So it could go down that path. I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
Dance off.
Yeah.
Between Sloane and I, oh my goodness.
That'd be awesome.
So, random question. This is kind of more so about you than about the character, but because you do have that background, and obviously you can sing, you can dance, you've won a gold record.
Oh my gosh, you know.
I do.
I'm so impressed.
So, but wait, would you ever do Broadway?
I love Broadway. I would die to do Broadway. Yeah, I started in musical theater. I actually trained opera for 5 years when I was growing up.
That's difficult.
It was great training for anything else. And then I released a couple albums, and in the recording studio, they're like, we can understand you too much. You're pronunciating too much. I was like, oh, I had to mellow out. And so, am I going to sing on the show? Was that the question?
Oh no, I was just asking if you'd ever do Broadway, just because you're like so like a triple threat.
No, you're so sweet. Yes, I would love to. I would love to. It's a dream of mine.
Well, who knows? Maybe somebody online will be like the head of Broadway and see this interview and
I'll be
like,
on Lion King next week.
Or hit the floor of the musical.
Yes, that would be so great idea. See, I like where you're thinking right now.
You're like a producer.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So why don't we talk about a little bit about this week's episode? We got to see a lot of drama. We finally got to find out what exactly happened between your character and Sloane.
And what exactly is that? What did you decipher?
You dirty, dirty woman.
I'm a whore.
Well, we know that you slept with Pete.
Well, for all you know, Pete took me down. I mean, how do you know that I wasn't a little drunk and Pete took advantage of me? I mean, really,
We
who
assumed
knows?
that. We assumed that.
Exactly. And who knows if it was a long relationship? Who knows if Sloane and he had broken up and I went in for the kill? I mean, I just know that my character was very driven and is very driven and made some choices that maybe weren't the most full of values.
She slept with her best friend's man.
While she was pregnant.
But she didn't know.
Yeah, hold on.
She didn't know. That's Olivia didn't know. Olivia is certainly far from perfect, but she did not know that Sloane was pregnant.
Listen, they all say that.
any better.
Mari too. You know, I didn't know you was. You know.
I mean, that would be pretty ghetto if I knew she was pregnant and did that. That would be terrible. But obviously, I mean, maybe I was a little horny. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was obviously not a good friend to do something like
not
that.
at all.
So.
Now, as an actor, because you also now have a husband who's a very good-looking guy. And
Yeah.
I've heard you guys have like make-out scenes, right?
Oh, not just make-out scenes. We're into some kinky sex.
So, okay, but as an actor,
I mean, I read the scripts. I was like, wow, really? I mean, I've been an actress for a while now, and this threw me.
really? Wow. Well, because I've always wondered, I've always wondered because I know that it's a job and at a certain point you become professional, but at the same time too, I mean, it's a pretty personal thing. Like, are you nervous when you go into stuff like that?
Well, I started in soap, so I was in bed every day.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
They don't care. So,
I mean-
lingerie and boxers.
exactly. No, it's true. You know, you learn to kiss left, then kiss right, and then pull out, and you're not I mean,
That-
lip wise with the lips. With the lips. Oh my gosh, don't go there. Pull out with the lips, and that Frenching doesn't look good. I mean, you learn the technical aspects, you know. So it's actually quite technical. But when you start, you know, throwing each other around, you want to make sure you're safe and things like that. And Rick, who's just amazing and sweet and strong, we got to be careful. Nobody dies and gets hurt.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Like with VH1, we've seen them kind of pushing the boundaries this season, starting off now with the first episode and
Jelena in bed.
Yeah. It's really cool to be on VH1 right now because the networks are changing, and what you thought were some networks that you wanted to be on a few years ago are changing. There's networks that you didn't even hear about a few years ago that now a lot of actors are vying to be on. Like Stars changed when Kelsey Grammer came on, and then TV Land changed when Wendy Malick and Betty White came on. And VH1 is so behind our show and believes in our show, and you know, we're not one of 25 shows. We are their baby, and I certainly don't take that for granted. Our show doesn't take it for granted. And they have a lot of vested interest in us. So they're willing to kind of define how their scripted, their scripted shows are going to be. So we're really at the beginning stages of what their scripted network is. So that's really a cool place to be.
And I feel like they're doing a phenomenal job. Like it's really well written, and the interaction that they're having now with the characters online, and then you can do the hit the floor locker room or something like that.
Tell me more.
Yeah, launching a show this day and age, as I was saying earlier, with Twitter and everything, it's fascinating. It's to like have conversations with the fans as you're watching. You know, it's
You get like, instant
really
feedback,
cool.
so it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Hopefully they like you. But I mean, it is amazing.
Do you ever get hate tweets like playing a certain character?
No, don't jinx me.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, you know, there's stories of people, you know, when I was in the soap opera, I played a bitch you love to hate kind of thing. And there was another one I was competing against on the other soap or something. She had someone pour milk on her head at a grocery store. So sometimes people do get very riled up, and they start to think that maybe that was your choice, not that you're an actor doing the writing, which people, I'm just playing a role.
We talked about that last week, actually, when Jonathan was here, and we were just saying, you know, when you find yourself very angry at the actors, it just means they're doing a good job.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very good.
So anyways, okay, we keep on digressing, and I want to get back into the show and what actually happened this week. So what are your guys' thoughts as far as the interaction between Sloane and Pete? Because I feel like he finally bombarded his way into her life and made her talk to him.
Yeah, he said she was avoiding her or him for 25 years, and like he's like, you're gonna listen to me now. But I think that there's some major chemistry with the two of them,
did I.
and I think they're gonna end up in a relationship. I really do.
I feel like he's gonna hit up Raquel first.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Obviously, he's horny.
Yeah. I mean, guy, come on.
Pete.
He was Superman.
Yeah.
He's living, but I feel that there's a lot of awkward scenes, and so that scene when it first opened up, it was very awkward. And then it was kind of like, okay, like once they got past the elephant in the room, then they were able to kind of open up, and so we'll see. I think that they're going to develop, a stronger relationship than what they have, And
what kind of relationship do you think they're going to?
Maybe like a friends with benefits type of relationship.
To start.
That's interesting.
Just to start.
I feel like you feel the sexual tension.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's definitely there, but it's not going to be like a full-fledged relationship because I don't think Sloane is going to put herself back in that position to where she's like, I don't want to be hurt, and women get vulnerable.
She went out of that world
Yeah.
anyways.
See,
She did.
that makes sense. That makes sense. But I'm the optimist, and looking at the way they were looking at each other, I felt like there were certain moments where it was just an endearing kind of like a, God, I miss you. Or in his mind, like, God, I like fluffed this up real hard. Like, she was an amazing woman, and I just screwed it up. Because he talks about how, after we broke up, all these things, like, you have no idea, injuries, this, that, all these things. And it could have been because his mind was just elsewhere, and he just wasn't on his A game.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
but
my
I see.
thought.
So I guess Raquel is kind of the short-term fix, and then once Sloane kind of works out, then it'll be the happy family.
Yeah. There'll be some resistance on her end, so she might be like a time waster, if you will. As
He has to
horrible as
get it
sounds.
now with Raquel, and then once he
Yes,
gets it
but if
out of the
Raquel
system.
finds out that he's Ahsha's dad, do you think she's going to still be?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very
no.
weird.
Yeah.
She's gonna find out after the fact. Like it's already gonna happen.
Yeah,
and,
That's true. That is
Isn't
true.
that interesting how Raquel is so close to Ahsha, and then if Raquel ends up hooking up with Pete, how it'd be kind of weird. It would like hurt their friendship. Be like, that's your
It
dad.
would, but how mad can you really be at her when you haven't told her?
That's
Right.
true.
That's true.
That's
She has
true.
no idea.
But if
it's
Raquel were
interesting.
to fall in love with Pete, how would that color? I mean, it was
Yeah,
your
that's true. She'd be your
feelings. It would
stepmother.
feel like a little odd.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be with the dad of my best friend.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well,
That's
I
just
mean,
me.
you were with your best friends, man.
I know, bring it on. Bring it on. That's okay. I know. There's no redeeming qualities about that. I'm not going to sit here and defend Olivia on that. That was not okay.
No. So,
Don't let it happen again, okay?
Oh, okay.
Or maybe let it happen again, and then they'll add a little more.
Oh, look at you.
well, speaking of getting it in, let's talk about Derek, because clearly he's trying to get somewhere.
Oh,
See, this is why I love his character, because every single week there's always something for us. First it was the
What do you mean by
redheads,
that? For us?
and
For
then
us men
now-
that want
for
that
us
life?
Men, yeah, he's living the life. He has a nice house. He has another house in Malibu. Wakes up with triplets. Come on.
You want to wake up with all those women on you and have that option?
Yeah.
I guess he's living the dream.
he has that. He
All
has that
those
option.
STDs. I mean,
I
yeah,
know,
right? The
right?
dream.
That's what penicillin's for. Okay, so, he has a shot of penicillin, Plan B by the bed. He's good. He's good. He's a professional. He knows.
Oh, is
he's
that what
good.
comes
This
with
is
being a
part of his-
professional is?
part of it.
But that's the
Good
thing
to
too.
know.
Like, he has so much stuff going on, but he's the loneliest guy we found out
Yeah.
at the end.
I was okay. I didn't see the cocaine coming at all. I saw him rolling up. It was the check, and I'm assuming to his mother, right? Because he made reference about something when she asked about his mom. He said something about money and paying off people,
Right, it
and
makes
that's
them-
love.
His family,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah,
I don't
Well,
know.
it goes to show you sometimes the glossy life isn't really all that it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
It really
It's
Yeah.
ugly.
what's inside.
Yeah, and
Well, you can still be happy inside and have 3 girls on you, I guess.
I think that's probably just filling a void. To be honest with you, like the
Yeah.
manly way of filling a void.
Because
Obviously,
where's the emotional connection?
Right.
there?
Yeah.
I mean, how well does he communicate, and how do they really even care about it?
no.
No.
You know? So no, the depth is probably not there. But if
Yeah.
it's what you want,
See, okay, but see, as a man, I get it because you guys, no offense, but you guys kind of go through that phase or whatever. But doesn't it ever
Right.
get old after a while?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean,
What?
yeah.
I thought we were in the trust tree.
It does get old after a while, but when you're young, flying, flashy, it's like,
Yeah.
why should I settle down? Like, if I don't have to settle down, why should I settle down? Now, maybe he should settle down because, you know, he's lonely, living in this big old house by himself, you know, throwing parties and having women and this and that, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, like, there's no one who he goes home to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think? Do you think Pete maybe had 3 girls at a time, and then he got into a relationship with Sloane, and then he realized like, oh shoot, I forgot that, you know, and that's why he kind of
That's a
veered?
very smart observation because Pete was the big player in his heyday, so he was probably waking up with girls on his stomach too.
Right. Yeah. Then he gets in a relationship, then he's like, oh shit, I'm in a relationship, and then he's like, hey Olivia.
I was probably one of those girls. I know. Oh my gosh! Now that I think about it, I could have been one of them. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute.
Can you tell us who Mia is, or at least what? Like, we have been dying over this for such a long time.
Like I can tell you who Mia is. No, that's the big question.
Mia Sertner.
Okay, but is this going to be like?
Last name.
Is this going to be like a mystery for the entire season?
James LaRosa did an amazing job of kind of stretching it out. I know even we as the cast were like, what's going on? Where's Mia? Is she coming on the show? We're like, we wanted to know what was going on. I will say that, you know, if you hang in there, pretty soon you're going to find out the whole Mia backstory.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, question for you, because like when she was casted, because she's like a real person, right? Like there's like an actual actress that plays Mia. Did you guys like not meet her while you were filming? Like was she really like? Did they have her like casted away?
They kept her in this black box, and we'd have to leave the set when she came on. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, we finally got a chance to meet Mia.
Interesting.
So, okay, I'm kind of like hopping.
This big secret, so, you know, I don't really know what I can say.
She's an escort.
We know that.
An escort.
We know that.
Well, you're not sure. I mean, she had like 25 hotel cards, but maybe
That's
she's
the assumption.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue. I mean, it seems pretty obvious. I don't know.
So, okay, now, do you find that, this is kind of an out of the blue question, but your character, do you see any similarities yourself in Ahsha because of the fact that she is this girl who's so passionate, she's going for her dreams, she's young, and you left right out of school, came out here from Illinois, like brand new to the city. Do you like identify with that character at all?
I do. I mean, when you're young and you're so driven and your dreams consume you, and I didn't have any emotional support really. My parents loved me and wanted me to follow my dream, but they knew this business is very cruel and the ratio of making it is very small. So it made me kind of want to work even harder to prove everybody wrong. And so, you know, I let that go since then. I'm not like angry about that anymore. But, you know, I followed my dream, and it was definitely, we've all had our hard knocks, and I've had times of wanting to give up. And I think one of the reasons I've continued being so blessed and working all these years is simply because I hang in there for so long. But if you truly love what you do more than anything, I say follow it. I think that any business can be cruel, but if at the end of the day you love it more than anything else in the whole world, I think you need to go for it. So I do relate to her that way, you know.
And what about on the opposite end as Sloane's character? Because I know that you're also a single mom.
Very good.
Your son had expressed
you know everything about me.
I know, right? I'm like a stalker. It's so sad. But so your son had expressed interest in acting. I think you said something along the lines that you hoped he wouldn't go that route.
Well, no. I mean, I'm good friends with my ex-husband who represented lots of people he discovered on Nickelodeon, and one of which is his partner now, Nick Cannon. But he also discovered Kenan Thompson, who's on Saturday Night, and also Amanda Bynes. And I remember he came home one day and he said Amanda Bynes had just gotten emancipated. And listen, growing up in the business is no easy task. Not to say everybody ends up like this or like that, but I've been on sets with kids and people swear. I mean, it's an adult forum, so it's not something I'm dying for my child to be involved in. If when he gets to a certain age he really wants to, he can go on to do it, I guess. But for me, I'm definitely not getting headshots and driving him around. That's just not my thing.
So, but going back to the relationship Sloane has with Ahsha, do you see yourself playing that same role? Because I feel like Ahsha's mom
being so protective, not wanting her daughter to do it.
Yes, so protective, and at the same time, she's supportive, but not. It's almost like the backhanded compliment, like, but not really.
Well, she can see how talented her daughter is and sees herself in dreaming big dreams, but she knows the knocks. And so it's probably that tug-pull that Sloane feels when she sees her daughter walk out the door every day. You know, it's I mean, can't you imagine having a child and you know how talented they are and they have these big dreams, but you don't want them to see the harsh side of life? It's kind of a hard thing to kind of say, go.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah.
Go get your butt kicked.
Yeah, sorry, but there's a lot of mean people out there that don't care about you at all, and you're, you know, get ready.
Right.
While we're on that subject, I read something too that you were up for the role of Kelly Bundy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was between me and Christina Applegate from Married with Children. Very good.
Yeah, so
Very good.
so
when Fox was just starting, it was like a new network then.
Oh, very cool. So you coming in, I guess, like runner up for that that role. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously things worked out without it, but how did that, like, was that one of your first big roles that you almost? were able
No,
to
my
get?
shoulda coulda list is pretty. Everything's meant to be.
Absolutely.
And you know, one minute you think I'll never work again, next minute you're like, I have all these options. So, but my shoulda coulda list is I think I tested for the Jennifer Aniston role in Friends. I was gonna do Lost, but I wanted to raise my child in LA. I was gonna do Ugly Betty. I could go on. I'm gonna cry now. No, actually, Mark Cherry created the role of Bree for me on Desperate Housewives because we had done a sitcom together years ago. My character's name was Bree, but I was pregnant on NYPD Blue at the time. Everything's meant to be timing-wise.
That is true.
Because we could sit there and wallow in our shoulda couldas till the cows come home. But I'm very thankful and blessed, and I love my show. I mean, it's rare to go to work and really be happy and have fun and laugh. And you know, my role is really fun. The show is really amazing, and I love watching the dancers. They're so talented.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
Actually, they were loving that water scene.
Oh my God.
Yeah, wasn't that hot? Wasn't that amazing?
That was great.
It was yeah.
Somebody needs to come visit set.
Yeah, if you're inviting, I will definitely.
Yeah.
I will definitely.
Yeah,
be there.
definitely. It's a fun set to visit.
People don't want to go home. Huh?
So, okay, where do I want to jump to right now? Let's go back to the show because I keep on taking everybody off topic because I just want to find out more
It's
about.
okay. Well, there's parallels too to the show, so you're doing a great job.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, let's talk a little bit about. I want to say Jonathan, but his name is German.
German Vega.
Yeah.
Who
Yes.
sleeps on a pull-out bed?
Yeah.
A couch
Our
bed.
exec
it was a
producer,
couch
our exec
pull-up.
producer is married to a man named German.
Oh, weird. I was wondering how that name came
German.
about.
There's a backstory to everything on the
Oh,
show.
I'm like Jermaine. Maybe
Yeah.
they spelled it wrong.
no, it's German.
Giannis, keep it.
I couldn't feel bad though because they're showing such polar opposites between him and Derek. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're trying to
For
make that
reason.
huge differentiation in their lifestyles.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's on this pull-out,
Couch.
Yeah.
horrid-looking couch.
Yeah.
But it's probably comfortable. It's probably like the most comfortable couch you've ever been in your entire
Throws a
life.
pillow top on top of it.
He's so sweet on the show, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So she comes home with the ballet bar and everything like that. I'm like, oh.
Because that's the thing too. Before we're like, man, he's way too. He's gonna lose the girl because he's way too nice, and then maybe she should be with Derek, who's got all this money and it could be a great lifestyle. But then we see that he's lonely, and then maybe German is better for her because he's,
Right.
you know.
Well, fast cars or love. I mean, what do you
Right.
really want at the end of the day? So it kind of makes you question your value system. So Ahsha right now is choosing what really matters and what's important.
Jake and
Yeah.
both.
Quantity over
How
quality.
long is that choice gonna last?
That's the question of the day, isn't it? You know, we'll
plot.
see. We'll
With
see.
Jelena.
But right now, I think they're so cute together. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think they're cute.
Yeah, but I feel like as much as I hate to admit it, because I am not Team Derek at all, I feel like her brow is starting to raise a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it
Like
is.
just
For sure.
It is like there's a little spell I want to say that Derek is starting to cast.
Yeah.
You know,
Angers
over
me
Ahsha.
profusely.
But I mean, here's the thing though, because he's also going into like a totally different realm himself, and so like he's taken a step, and so he's kind of okay, like what can I do to possibly persuade this woman who has a boyfriend, you know, who's not on my level, but like his love for her, you know, is totally different. So you know, like
What do you think he's going to do that would do that?
Well, he just started today, kind of
Yeah.
with when she needed it most. You know, kind of takes her in his
no.
room.
Just being a
his
friend.
solution was let me
Being
drop my
himself.
towel and then show my abs
No, but I
and
mean,
stun you with my body.
Yeah, but that's not
It didn't
working.
work.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
he told her to turn around.
yeah, you didn't tell her.
Mirror in front of her. Come on. on.
But here's the thing. Like,
How about the bodies on our show?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I hate to like switch gears, but
No,
I mean,
it's okay.
honestly, those boys are just—they're just extraordinary. I'm
They
a
need to
workout
put the
freak.
shirts back
They're
on.
amazing.
No, you know what? You get to see the girls wet and flying around in their little bikinis. We get to see the abs.
I'm just a victim of circumstance, okay? Like, that's,
But I
you
love
know.
that. I mean, that in our pilot, you see a man's ass for a change. You know what I mean? I love how it's more equal playing field
Yeah,
here.
it's great.
I think it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think it was unnecessary.
That was unnecessary. That's
I
funny.
didn't even notice. Not even noticed.
We fast forward through that part.
No, we did not.
okay.
We like rewind, replay, one more time. Again, okay, turn around. All right. That's how we roll.
So what do you think of Jelena?
Don't like her at all. You know, and it's funny, and I know you could probably speak on this, but I've heard a lot of times actors are usually really great at playing the polar opposite of who they are. So I'm wondering.
Well, I'll sign up for that. I've paid the mortgage on my house playing a few bitches. Just a few. So yeah, no, she's lovely. Logan is lovely, but I just think her character. I was just wondering what you thought of her character.
Oh, I mean, she's doing a great job playing that character.
Yeah.
And how about like towards the end of the episode when she was kind of plotting with Ahsha and I forgot his name.
Derek?
Derek, yeah. And kind of trying to insinuate something with that they're hooking up or something, you know. And she's going to obviously show it to her boyfriend, German. So.
I felt some sexual something going on when she was in the room with him when the triplets
Derek.
were coming out one by one.
Yeah.
So something
Like they hooked up too.
they did or they're going to once. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it was more. It seemed like it was more like they had a past. I don't know. But that's just what I thought.
It's the eyes. It's the eyes. That's what it is.
Is that what that was?
It's the eyes. You know.
You like her eyes, Logan's eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, of course. I love your eyes. No, her eyes are gorgeous.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's no. Granted, she has a great body, but I'm not that shallow. She has great eyes.
I am. Everything else is great too.
Forget about her heart or not, but her eyes.
Yeah, but I'm not shallow at all.
Eyes are good. But no, she, like, her character, you know, like you said, she's always plotting something. She's always looking for an angle for something. You
But
know?
why? How has she become that person is what I want to know. Like,
Mia has everything to do with it.
you think?
Yeah, because I don't think she was like that, you know, like prior to the whole, you know, Mia disappearing thing. Like, I think she was probably nice and happy-go-lucky, and, you know, she was good, and she was the main thing. And
You think she was running on happy-go-lucky? I don't know
say
about
that.
that.
Well, I would say because, like, if she was, like, the number one girl, you know, she didn't really have anything to really worry about. And, like, people just kind of loved her.
Oh, that's a good point, because you know Mia was supposed to be an amazing dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
best dancer or something.
Yes.
She's supposed to be.
Yes.
I think that Jelena's cockiness is all a facade. I think that it's insecurity, to be honest with you. I mean, not to get too deep on it, but
No, I love that you said that, because the reason I'm drawn to playing what is deemed bitches, but normally it's just a strong woman, is because sometimes the strongest people or women with shields that try to put people in their place and are very kind of aggressive are sometimes the most self-loathing, oversensitive, insecure people underneath, which is really interesting and fun to play. They have to put their guard up, and they've gone too far in doing so. So, yeah, I love playing those kind of roles. That's why that's interesting you say that, because nobody is just that. Most likely underneath that is somebody who's crying every night to bed.
And we see like a little bit of light every time. Like tonight with Raquel, Jelena kind of told the truth at the end that she was part of getting her kicked off the team or whatnot. So every time we see a little bit of light, and then like tonight we're like, oh, Jelena's plan didn't go all the way through, and then at the end like, oh yes it did. She still found a way to use.
How about how she like turned around that whole photo shoot on her, just like you were saying. Like, I don't know how Olivia didn't see it, as far as her being like, I think we should just,
How about Kat? Don't you love Kat, who plays the blonde?
Oh my gosh,
Kat.
yeah. She's got history here at AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah.
Oh, does she?
Yes.
What kind of history?
She's a host here.
I did my very first show here with
she
Kat.
told
Yeah,
me.
she's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's a sweetheart, and she's so talented, an amazing dancer. Because I said I was doing the show, she's like, "Oh, I've been on that show, and I've done that show, and everything." Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, her character's a riot.
Isn't she funny?
Yeah.
The tweets are like, "Girl, she really knows how to work it with that black card." It's so funny. So funny.
Yeah, it's like she's almost like the unspoken like leader of the pack because they can always go to her, and she's not worried about anybody else. She makes it work no matter what.
Yeah, she's the comic relief.
Has she been back here since she's been on the show?
No, she's going to shortly though.
Oh yeah, you have to have her back.
Yeah.
Or you have to have her on the show since she's on the show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So I've never met her though, but is her character in any way similar to who she is in person?
She's the nicest person in the world, I think. She's like,
she is.
Like,
well, I'll tell you what's similar is a voice.
Right.
Her voice is just like that.
But you'll never miss, you know, if you hear her voice, you're like, oh, Kat's here. And
Yeah,
like doing my very first show here with her for the American Idol after show, like matching that, her personality and everything, it just goes.
But it's not put on. It's very real.
She's
She loves her family and she's very down to earth and she just loves life and she talks like that. I just talk to her and I start talking like that. We just start hanging out. So in that way, she's like her character in terms of, you know, making out with guys she doesn't name Sven that she doesn't even know.
Probably the polar opposite in this, like we were talking about.
Yeah, no, she's a good girl that way. So.
I have a random observation, and I could be totally wrong, but when you guys casted the show, you have your main core dancers, I'm assuming, who are the characters that have, you know, speaking lines and stories.
Right,
the girls that are in the background, did you guys change out girls? Because I feel like I'm not seeing the same faces.
You mean since the pilot? Since the first episode?
Yeah, because I remember seeing the auditions, and I remember seeing certain girls. I'm like, oh, she's amazing, and I thought she made the team, but then later on,
you might be referring to that redhead.
Yes,
who's
that's exactly
so hot
who I am.
and who did like the throw-off scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's touring with Beyonce.
Oh, good for her.
Right now. Wow. So, I mean, these dancers make their living dancing, and they're just extraordinary. And I've really learned what it's like to be a professional dancer and what that world is like. It's hard. I don't know how they do it. So some of them went off to do their other jobs, and we were able to keep a bulk of them. But for the duration of the show of this season, we end up keeping these girls.
Okay.
But a lot of them dance on So You Think You Can Dance or tour with a lot of amazing singers and things like that. So, but you're right. From the first group, that redhead particularly stood out. She was amazing. Yeah. Amazing. But I think our dancers are amazing. Yeah. I love our dancers. And then, of course, we have the core girls that are the characters on the show. Logan, Jelena, who plays Jelena, and then Kat, and then Ahsha. Those are the main girls. And Raquel.
I would say, do you know anything about the audition process? Like, what was that process for them?
Intense. They searched all over the United States for a long time. The casting directors were exhausted. They're like, do you know how hard it is to find someone who can dance? Yes, they can't act. Someone who can act, but they can't dance.
Yeah.
It's probably like when they searched for Glee or something, you know.
Which you were a part of.
Very good. I'll pay you after. You're so good. You're so good. Yeah.
Nice. So what about for you as an actress? What's the process for you? I mean, at this point, you're a very established actress. Do you still have to go through the whole, like, long ordeal?
It's only offer. I'm just kidding.
Oh, excuse me.
I wish. No. It's all dependent, you know, on the job. Sometimes in TV, it's an offer. Sometimes I'm jumping through as many hoops as possible, you know, and I will for a role that I'm dying to do, whether it's the big screen or small screen, you know. You got to put your ego at the door if it's something you really want.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you've been up also for a couple of Emmys. What would it mean to you if you won one?
Just that having no personal life was worth it sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. You know, we all would love accolades for how hard we work. That's all. Is it the be-all, end-all? No, it's not. I'm just thankful to still be working and to find a job that you like the people you work with, and at the end of the day, you really like the writing, and that's what really matters at the end of the day. I've done shows with lots of Emmy winners and Oscar winners, and they were saying this is going to be a hit, and you never know, and no one sees it. And then I'm on something that you think no one's going to see, and everybody sees it. So I've given up on gauging what's going to be a hit, certainly, and I've given up on trying to let my life be so dictated on a business that's so high and then so low. You have to kind of ride the wave a little bit. I did a sitcom years ago with Judith Ivey, who's got 3 Tonys, and I came in and I said, did you see our review? It's fabulous. It says this, this, this. She's like, I didn't read it. And I was like, oh my God, like, how can you not? And she said, you believe the good, you believe the bad. And I think now that I've gotten a little older, I kind of believe that now. And it's helped me survive a bit more.
Yeah, especially this day and age with, like you were saying before, Twitter and everything. You just kind of just let it be.
And everybody's a critic now.
Yeah, I mean, you hope people like you, but if you're always trying to make everybody like you, you're never going to win. So you just got to be yourself. And then some people will love you and some people hate you, and just got to hold on to your truth. It's all we have. So. Yeah. You know, we all would like some accolades, but really, you can't think about it. You can't think about it.
So then what's been
Do you want an Emmy?
Sure, absolutely. I'll take one. So then what's been like your worst, best, and most embarrassing job?
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. I feel so put on the spot.
Oh, sorry.
My worst, let me start with the first one. What was my worst job?
Yeah.
Years ago, it just came to mind. It was an audition for a commercial or something, and I guess it was lipstick. And I had to, they put a lollipop in water. It's so stupid. They had a camera here, and the director was like there, right there, and he goes, catch that drop, suck that drop. Catch that drop. And I was like, oh, I never went on a commercial audition again. It was the worst.
That sounds so creepy.
Obviously, yeah. Doesn't it? That sounds awful. Oh my gosh.
Nick, you went after that commercial too.
You got that commercial. You have better lips than me. You got that commercial.
It's in the archives. Got really weird.
And then what was the other question?
Best and then most embarrassing.
Well, that one was kind of embarrassing. The best? Oh gosh. There's been a lot of great roles, but hit the floor. Well, of course. Of course. It's Olivia. Of course. Yes.
Okay, and then embarrassing, then, like, how about this? Because I think for me as a fan, I always like to know, like, embarrassing stories about my I don't know why. Maybe it just makes you more human.
Well, there's one thing that aired all the time on bloopers. Remember that show Bloopers and Blunders or something? I mean, it's so silly, but it aired all the time. I was yelling in a scene. I was like, and a spit came, and it came out, and it stuck to her and it drooled. I don't know what it was, but they aired it over and over again, and it wasn't very pretty.
Thanks, guys. Okay.
I got residuals for it. Isn't that funny?
Well, hey, I mean, that works.
That's the best way to mess
Whatever.
up, right?
Right? All right, so going back into the show, because I keep pulling you guys back and forth, is there anything that stood out to you that maybe I didn't bring up that you guys want to talk about?
Let's just talk about, just the reason what kept me really in this episode.
The girls, the dancing.
It was this wet dance. And okay, here's the thing, because this is what I'm thinking when I'm watching this. First of all, they're on a platform in a pool, right? Right. This platform isn't that big. Did anyone fall?
No, they kicked ass every time.
How
amazing is that choreography?
It was good.
It's pretty amazing. They do a lot of takes. They work really hard. No.
There's no injuries on
I mean, there was a few lashes floating in the pool. Awesome. A few touch-ups here and there. But no, nobody fell, and they give 110% each take. And that was a sexy scene. I mean,
it was. I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight.
Slow-mo.
The LA version, yeah.
Honestly, I was watching it thinking it just must have been so tedious to film. Like, fun as a dancer, but at the same time with all the wet hair hitting you in your face and then thrashing and doing it like over and over again.
I was thinking that too. I kept thinking, I can't say I'm ever tired on set, because who am I to say I'm tired when these girls are doing take after take after take and all that kind of those situations. I was thinking the same thing as the wet hair. I mean, that's tricky stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And still being really sexy. I mean, that's tricky stuff. So, no, I'm telling you, they're troopers. It's amazing. It's impressive.
Absolutely.
All right. Does anybody else have anything about this episode they want to bring up? Because if not, I want to get into news and gossip. Takers? No? None? Okay, so then let's just get into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, I don't have necessarily any gossip per se, but something I wanted to bring up in news. We were talking about earlier that you're a huge animal advocate.
Yes.
So I'm like,
are you?
Amen to that. I am.
Oh, good.
All about it. I'm vegan, and I'm very outspoken about that. And, whatever. But anyway,
that's important. That's great.
So I wanted to. I don't know if it's going to come up on this screen or not, but for our fans, we have this very sexy, lovely ad that you did for PETA.
Wow.
The No Fur campaign.
Yes.
When did you shoot this?
On NYPD Blue, you know, I showed my ass on that show. And so it was like I'd rather show my buns than wear fur. Kind of a callback to that. So, yeah. Oh, there's another shot. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I love when celebrities use their voice for such an excellent cause.
It was great because I did Letterman and Conan and a whole bunch of shows at the time, and you know they liked that ad too. And it did start a dialogue. You know, people don't know that 30 to 40 animals go into one coat.
Right.
And now, you know, fake fur is so fashion forward and so warm. It's just so silly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really silly. I'm not throwing paint on anyone. You can still have these feelings without being radical, but I really look down upon people that really think they have to wear real fur, particularly in LA. I mean, come on, people, give me a break.
You don't need it.
But even in New York, I've lived in New York for on and off for years, and fake fur is really warm.
Right.
You know, so why kill so many animals because they're raised for it? It's pretty hardcore.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, you're also involved with Humane Society.
Yeah.
Was it Miracles for Animals and then Project Blanket.
Oh, you're so good. You're so
How did
good.
Wait, how did you get so involved? No, I love that because I am so passionate about that. I just like to hear about, you know, your
Well, I
story.
believe that anybody who has a modicum of success really owes it to themselves and society to give back the blessings that they've gotten. So I used to dream of becoming known, honestly, to bring awareness to things I was passionate about, particularly animal rights. So I just spoke on Capitol Hill about releasing chimps from labs. We're the only industrialized nation in the world that still tests on chimps. And the medical community has spoken, and they're not the correct genetic model at all for HIV, hepatitis B and C. So we're trying to get them out of the labs now. So I just hosted an event at a sanctuary recently and hung out with, they call him my boyfriend, his name is Burrito. And he's very cute. And then when they're in labs, they take away their babies within the first 24 hours. So at the sanctuary, there's this one named Foxy that always carries around a troll doll, like on her back and in her arm. Even if the doll's lost its head, she still like carries the thing, which by the way is a very ugly doll. It's kind of funny. But they're so human-like and so similar. It's like looking in the mirror at a friend. I mean, it's really extraordinary. And they need social interaction, and so we're trying to get them released into these sanctuaries, which cost taxpayers 1/10 the amount of money. So I'm really honored to be involved with that and try to speak out about that and that kind of thing. And I'm doing a documentary about how many healthy, beautiful, adoptable cats and dogs we put down in our local county and city shelters.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have money to publicize, and they're young, they're healthy and adoptable, and we kill them. We still euthanize them in group gassings. It's really sad. So people, go to your local county and city shelter, please.
Yes.
Adopt animals.
Yes.
Yes, adopt, save a life, yes.
To make it a little bit more lighter and more happy, you also said you were going to be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Very good. You are so awesome. Yes, yes. I love nature and challenging myself athletically and also spiritually. Am I really going to be able to conquer something? And, you know, I've had this dream of Kilimanjaro. I think it epitomizes our bucket list checklist, and I think we always think, one day I'll do that. Well, let's do it now is what you should try to do once a year if you can. So, I mean, I'm saying that, I hope I make it. But yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And going with the theme of like news and gossip, do you have any good juicy stuff maybe you can share with us about people on the show?
I have Kardashian's baby picture.
Oh, okay. I mean, that works.
So that's why I have 10 million right here. News and gossip to share with you?
Yes.
Oh.
Anything that you can let slip without having to, you know.
That's funny.
Without having to slip.
Not off the bat. You start and I'll think.
I don't have any gossip. Well, why don't we just get to why don't we get into predictions, and then maybe in our predictions you can lead us to something.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Our guests always do that.
When I start to fall asleep.
Yeah. I want to start with you, Layla, because I have been talking so much. I haven't had a chance to hear you. Let me know, what is it that you think is going to be going on?
Well, I think that Coach Pete and Sloane, there's going to be more interaction between the two of them, and I think some sort of relationship's going to develop. I think they're going to start dating or hooking up or something. And then I also think Jelena is just going to cause drama with Ahsha and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know. I don't think they're going to stay together.
Who?
I think
Ahsha and
Ahsha and German.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to stay together. I think they're going to break up, which is sad.
Yeah. Nah.
Aww.
Okay, so Coach Pete, you know, of course, He's a Rolling Stone, so you know he's definitely gonna get his Raquel taste, and then you know there may be one more taste that he gets before the whole Sloane thing. You know, we know Derek is definitely gonna try and knocking down the Ahsha wall, and then you know there may just be one night something happens where she spends the night, and then you know she lets the best get over her, and you know she becomes the empress of the, of the castle, you know, and then German and Derek have to kind of duke it out, and so you know it's gonna be like a battle for her love. And
is it gonna be in a game of 21 or something on the court?
It could be a game of 21.
How about horse?
Ooh.
That's
that's how you really. That's how you solve anything.
He's gonna be dunking all the time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get that Pete and Raquel kiss for sure. Never been more certain about anything in my life. We're gonna get that fight with German and Ahsha, and I think there's gonna be another dance scene.
That is a pretty awesome prediction.
Sexy dancing.
Yeah.
I think
A nice, sexy number, right? No more basketball for the rest of the season.
yeah, please.
It's
no.
all
halftime
dancing.
shows and practice.
All right, so I'm just going to go way out there with my prediction. I talked about earlier about the missing costume or outfit, and then we saw the owner of the team, the older gentleman, ripping up costumes, and my prediction prior was that there was cocaine or something like sewn into the costume.
Yeah, I saw that prediction. I thought that was
Yes.
interesting.
And so we also saw Derek now actually doing cocaine, so I'm wondering if there's a link somewhere in there. I don't know if he could be selling it to some of the players, and I also think that Mia may somehow be intertwined in that.
You're going on to this whole drug route.
I know, right? I don't know why.
The hotel keys have something.
Yeah, the hotel keys. Maybe she was an escort for the older gentleman, which is how she got involved with him, and then found out about the cocaine and was smuggling it. I don't know. I'm going everywhere.
And
right now.
Jelena, she's in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now it's your turn.
I love that music. I think Olivia needs to put Jelena in her place, is what I think
I
needs
agree.
to maybe happen. I think Olivia's on a hunt right now to find out what happened to Mia. And I'd like to say that Ahsha and German are going to stay together. But as Derek gets more, I know you want Derek to stay the man that he is. I think that the more he gets in touch with maybe getting real, the more he's going to have a chance with Ahsha. You know, once you start opening up emotionally, which he seems to be at his breaking point. And, you know, maybe we'll find out more about Pete and Sloane and see what that sexual tension might lead to.
Okay, we'll take that.
You know, he keeps saying it's in the eyes, so.
Yeah. The eyes say a lot.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up today's show. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me. You guys are awesome.
Thank
It was so
you.
fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Where can everybody follow you at?
At Charlotte Ross.
Okay, and
It's tricky, I know.
And for the rest of you guys, if people want to have a conversation, where can they follow you?
You can find me at Layla Sadney on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere.
There you go. Find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue.
Ooh, I'm
All over the internet.
All over.
I'm at Mark E. Allen or markeallen.com.
And I'm Alikona Bradford. You can follow me at Kiss My Passport, or you can just Google me, Alikona Bradford. I'm sure you'll find me. So thank you guys so much for joining again. We look forward to joining you next week for more juicy news on Hit the Floor.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.